Welcome to the Carl Jackson Podcast. I am coming to you from Nashville, Tennessee. That's right, Nashville, Tennessee. Tonight's episode is going to be an amazing episode. I'm going to be interviewing the Tankards. The name of the show is called Thicker Than Water, the Tankards. This is season 4, and it was originally on Bravo, NBC Bravo, and now it's on the CJC network. So we're going to be talking about them. We're going to be talking about the new show. We're going to be talking with them tonight on this episode of the Carl Jackson Podcast, On the Road, Nashville. And we have with us right now Ben and Jewel Tankard in their home. I'm in their home in Nashville.
Yes.
How you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Carl, you might as well just pull out a bunk or something.
I know, right?
You've been here. You've been living with us the last few months anyway.
Like for real.
Oh, that's Carl's shoes right there.
Right,
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, I almost feel like this is my home. And I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna get me a key made. And even though it's Sunday night and we're about to watch the show, when this show over with, I'm not catching a plane.
You staying tonight. You know,
I'm staying the
Well,
night.
you deserve a break, man. You've done a great job. Thank you for even agreeing to do this project with us, man. We could not have done it without you. And so you just kind of have been reading my mind and what I envision, what do you call it?
Envision.
Mm-hmm. And, before I can even say it, you're like, I think about doing this. I'm like, yeah, that's my dog right there. And thank you. You've done a great job.
Oh, man, thank you, man. I appreciate it. So this is a special edition of the podcast because I wanted to promote this show, and I also wanted you guys to really talk about season 4 and why you wanted to do season 4 this way. You guys were at Bravo for many years. You had a very successful run. You guys were all over the basically United States promoting the show. It was on everything from Today and God knows all the other shows. But you were gracious enough to really bring this show to our network, and in addition to other things that you're going to do with the show. Talk about the process. When did you decide that you wanted to take this show and make it basically take on the ownership, perspective of this?
That's a good question, Carl, because we did the Bravo situation 2013 through 17, I believe. And we always knew that we wanted to continue TV because it was such a launching pad for all the many things that we do. Jewel will talk about her business, but I'm a musician, so it was a way to sell records. It's a way to bring more eyeballs to our ministry as pastors. And so we wanted to keep it going. We love our kids. We think they're zany and entertaining. We think we have an entertaining family. So we wanted the world to see it. And so Bravo, Universal, in that corporate world, as you know, it got to be nice to everybody because you don't know who's going to be your parents tomorrow.
Right.
They're constantly making changes, shaking stuff up at the top, so people get shaken around and you don't know who you're going to be working with. So we just kind of got left kind of homeless for a minute, and we wasn't going to just create something just to be doing it and go outside of what we're known as. We're known as positive Christian family people, so I wasn't going to start throwing water on Jewel, just to make Bravo hurry up and shoot season 4, and they are the best at conflict, If you get ready to go to to get your teeth worked on, you got to go to a dentist. You get ready to work your heart, you got to go to a heart doctor. When you want drama, you got to go to Bravo. But it's more to the Tankers than drama. My music, our ministry, our creativity. So when I came on this show for you is when I decided, wait a minute, this cat, Carl, he probably can help me bring out all those things that we want people to see about the Tankards that would never see the light of day with a regular traditional network. And we shot a lot of stuff with Bravo that hit the cutting room floor. It was shot, but it was never aired. And so when I talked with you, I said, something, this would be something that would really be positive. African-American brother who's strong in his faith, family man. He sees what I'm trying to do. He's a fan of my music and ministry.
Absolutely.
And so that's how I came. That's how I came about after I had the blog conversation or the
podcast
conversation.
We just got on about that. We was just talking about it's not a blog, it's a podcast.
Podcast conversation with Brother Carr. I called you and I said, "Hey, I believe I found the right guy to partner with us to do the show ourselves."
And Jewel was like, "No way, not him." No, just kidding.
No. I was excited about it. I mean, I think the 3 seasons with Bravo was great. We definitely, expanded all of our platforms, Ben's, mine, not just ours, of the children.
Right.
I mean, all the children really use it as a launching pad to, continue building their brand development. So that was huge. And then I think besides that, I loved people being able to see a blended family, African American, the man love his wife, and Ben already had 4 children. I had 1, and it's work blending a family together. And so I thought that, I think there's a lot more blended families out there than there are biological, even though honestly, a lot of the issues that people have in biological family are the same issues in blended, honestly.
Right.
And so I wanted to showcase that it can be done. And I wanted to showcase it in a way that wasn't preachy. Because even though we're pastors, I get more when I see a demonstration of somebody winning, whether it's in their marriage or the family or their money. Like, I love good, teaching, but when I see your life and you dripping and you looking good, that's inspiration for me. That probably literally ministers to me more than, in some cases, somebody actually teaching.
So TV allows us to live the sermon.
Yeah, because it doesn't mean you're perfect. We have challenges, we have weaknesses, we have issues, but you can agree to disagree respectfully.
So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about ministry, because you mentioned ministry. How important that is for both of you. I want both of you guys to kind of tell me your thoughts on ministry. What makes it so important, and why do it? I mean, you guys are millionaires. I mean, you in cryptocurrency, y'all making all this money, you travel, you got a #1 record, Shine, that was just released a few weeks ago, and it's like #1 on the charts, or was #1 for a long period of time for the last few weeks. You don't need to pastor. Why?
Well, we don't pastor as an occupation. We pastor as a way to give back.
It's a calling.
It's a calling. I believe that people don't do what you say.
Sorry about that, guys. We're live. So whatever you hear, that's just what it's going to be.
And the police is not coming for me.
They're not coming for us. We're not in that type of neighborhood. Make sure my door's locked, though.
People don't do what you say. People do what you do. And so as a recording artist for many years, Carl, as an instrumentalist, you know this, being musical. If you're an instrumentalist and you're on stage, if you don't have something to say between the songs, you're going to become a lounge lizard.
I like that.
People start talking all over you, walking all over you.
Go to the bathroom,
So
check their emails.
So to engage my audience, I started reading motivational clips and having little stories in between my songs, and then talk about testimony, things that I experienced. Because my parents were ministers. I never wanted to be a minister because they were broke, and I was like, I don't want to do that.
Right.
So people would book me, and they would say, hey, come do the concert, but make sure you tell the stories. Make sure you preach to us. Make sure you motivate us, get us going, because that's what we're booking you for, not just the music.
Wow.
And so when Jewel and I married, we decided to have a Bible study at home. And that Bible study grew to about 40 people. And then she said, honey, this is not a Bible study. This is a church. And you and Jesus need to get your own building. That's too many people using my bathroom.
Right.
So that's how Destiny Center was birthed.
Wow. And you found a building in town.
And we're on our 3rd building now.
You're on your 3rd building.
20 years.
Wow.
Ben knew he was called to pastor because when I met him, he told me, he said, I know I'm called to pastor. I was a businesswoman. I love God and I love ministry. I was very involved in the ministry and evangelism and the prayer ministry.
So you were already in this before you met him?
Yeah, I was in ministry, but but I attended a church
Gotcha.
with pastors and served
Right.
as an usher, altar ministry, some everything. So I knew that I was called to ministry, but I didn't ever see myself necessarily pastoring. So when he said that, he went to Jerusalem, to Israel, and had an experience with God there. And then his pastor, now my pastor at the time, Dr. Creflo Dollar and Dr. Layton, affirmed that calling. Because we would have never went out without the affirmation of it. Like some people just want to go and be, went, but he was literally sent.
So no teaching in terms of no school, no seminary, no cemetery.
Right.
Holy Ghost.
We just got into the Word, began to.
You did go to ministry school, and I went to ministry school though. It wasn't traditional seminary.
Yeah, it was correspondence.
Yeah.
And then we got under the teaching of Kenneth Copeland and Creflo Dollar and Jerry Savelle, Fred Price, and just started to eat as much information as we could.
Man, I was with the Christian Rat Pack. Savelle, Price. Did you say Hagen or Savelle?
Both.
Hagen,
Jerry
Copeland.
Savelle, Jesse Duplantis.
Now that's a movie.
I don't think I've ever.
That's a movie.
I think I've never seen Brother Hagen live, but I listened to.
I saw Kenneth Hagen as a kid. My parents took me to one of his meetings.
That's pretty good.
And see, it wasn't not hard, Carl, for me to become a pastor and preach miracles.
Right.
Because I became one of the number one musicians in the world.
Right.
When I left the NBA with an injury and God anointed me to play from scratch, and I've never had a lesson. The minister laid hands on me and said, "Sit down to this piano, put your hands on the keys." And so that gift came out. So I've experienced that sort of miracle. So if I can believe that, I can believe for your knee,
Right.
my hip, her hairdo,
Right.
Their marriage, whatever. I can believe because I've seen the miracles power of God in me.
Wow. I think the proper beautician can help the miracle of hair. But anyway.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. So talk a little bit about season 4. What can we expect? What did you like about working on this particular season? And tell us a little bit about the juveniles. I think that's the word I keep hearing around here, the juveniles.
Right.
Grown
children. Grown children. So yeah, I think everybody will be able to get caught up, on kind of what's going on with them. You're going to see fun. You're also going to see, challenges that siblings have that, I don't know if they grow out of it at some point. I don't know. Some things I think even as adults you see, people as children, they had the little bickering, and then as adults, you'd be like, are y'all still doing that? But I think it happens in real life.
Right.
But Ben and I, our intent is to continue to teach them to love one another, to forgive one another, and to not get stuck last year, 2 years ago. Because what happens is sometimes as people get older, they really get stuck in their ways.
Right.
So I'm
right.
like, if I can get you young to be like quick to forgive and move on,
Right.
you're going to be better off and not have to end up becoming this old bitter person of something that happened that was super petty.
Right. And then the kids are grown and gone, most of them. Brittany's still here, but we kind of got an empty nest. Seasons 1, 2, and 3 was everybody under one roof trying to get along with each other.
Right.
It's a different dynamic. Now it's an empty nest, and we are excited about the silence.
We
It's
love
like,
it. We love it.
Hold on. That's season 4.
What I liked about season 4 is the fact that you're able to go a different direction. Mm-hmm. We were able to do something different because you didn't have the whole family dynamic in one house.
Right.
So you could tell a different story. I mean, don't you feel that was...
And it's all being in the band. Remember sectionals?
Right.
The brass, clarinets, drums. So we have sectional relationships with our
juveniles.
Kids. Yeah, juveniles. This section, okay, Brooklyn and Brittany, y'all go to Florida with us.
Right.
Marcus, Tish, y'all come over. So,
different experience.
Not at one time, all the time. It's kind of sectional.
Right.
Yeah, it's like sometimes we're all together, but then sometimes you're with 2 children.
Right.
Or with one child.
Right. And so this season to me is almost like I almost call it a bio documentary / reality. I'm calling it a cinema series because we tried to shoot it in a way that looked like a film / documentary.
I love it.
And I thought it turned out great. I'm glad that you love it because he's the boss. I'm just one of the bosses. But and so
And I like
that was my favorite part.
That you really encouraged us to be ourselves.
Absolutely.
Just to be ourselves, and then let the chips fall where they may, but don't try to make up nothing. Don't try to create what you think people want to see.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was really proud of you, baby, for even taking this on. I mean, I think
Absolutely.
it was huge that
Really?
you said, yeah, that was.
Really?
So
See, I don't want to hear this part. See, this is the part. See, this the part I hated the most. Because every time I'm like trying to do some business and trying to do work, he started thinking about taking his wife up there and being
I'm just
bunny
going
rabbit.
to mention that. I was just going to say, come
You
on
would just see,
upstairs.
told you,
No,
told
but
you.
seriously, I mean, I really am proud of you. You know, as a black man, you could have sat there and said, we're waiting on a network. You said, no, I'm not doing that. You know, I'm a boss and I'm going to create it. I'm going to find a production company because we've been looking for production companies.
Right.
He's like, we're gonna tell this story because it's a story that's extremely relatable.
Right.
And it's a time where people need to see black men in a positive light that love their family. They're not perfect. They're working it out. And black women who love and support their husbands and working it out with the children, building a dynasty. Like, the story, I think, was strong. And we knew we had a strong fan base that asked us. We don't have one comment on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook where people say, when is the show coming back? When is the show? And it's been a few years. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I that's dope, baby. Yeah, let's do it. Mm-hmm.
And people don't even know that this really all happened like a whirlwind. I wanted him as a guest on the podcast. A lot of you have seen that particular episode, and you can still listen to it and download it on iTunes and Spotify and all the places that you get podcast episodes. But I wanted him to be a guest. That's all I wanted. I just wanted him to be a guest. Next thing I know, I get a call, and he's like, hey, I know you do production. You have all this stuff that you do. Would you take on this, task? And I was like, what? So for me, it was just amazing to me how it happened so fast, how we were able to kind of, etch out time and schedules, even though we both have these crazy schedules, to be able to shoot this and create this wonderful piece. And I really think season 4, people are going to be really shocked at how great it is. I mean, what do you think?
I totally agree. And it's totally different.
So different.
Yeah.
You have to get all other networks off the brain. You got to get E off the brain.
Right.
You got to get Bravo off the brain. You got to get VH1 off the brain. You got to come to this season with the Tankards with a brand new clean slate. 'Cause
Right.
this guy here, he knocked it out the park.
But I love it because people go from asking why did you do it that way to how did you do it this way.
Well, that was the goal. I'm
Yeah.
hoping that people would say, how, as opposed to why.
Yeah, no, and I think anytime you do something new,
Right.
and I mean, Ben has always been a trailblazer. I'm a trailblazer. He did it with jazz. We're like, in the beginning, what are you doing? Why'd you do it?
Why you putting gospel with jazz?
Yeah.
Why you flying your own airplane?
Yeah, it was always, so we're used to, when I got into crypto, what is crypto? Why are you doing that? Is that a scam? So
Right.
we're kind of used to being
the
celebrated after.
and being innovative.
Right.
We're
Being
innovative. We're early
Right.
adopters.
Knocking down trees and making out the
and
trail as we
who
go.
knows? This may end up being a new blueprint.
I think I've created a new blueprint, and I did it with the Tankards. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are going to be copying me.
Yeah.
But that's just my ego.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to live tweet right now, so you guys want to get on. And how can we live tweet?
Hashtag thicker than water.
Yeah, and you guys can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, but we'll be live tweeting on Twitter.
We're live tweeting right now.
Tankard, Jill Tankard.
And we'll
the
know.
children, and the children. Follow all our babies.
We'll know you watched the show if you put this as one of your comments. It was the eyelashes for me.
Yeah, we're going to be live tweeting all night. Yes. As a matter of fact, we're live tweeting now. And we will be, in almost 30 minutes from now, we'll be premiering the Tankards.
The world premiere.
The world
Let's
premiere.
go.
World premiere on your network, Carl.
On my network.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
This is crazy. Like, I'm so excited. Like, we're live and we're doing this. And it's like, whoa, it really happened. We finished it. We finally finished the show.
Yeah.
Before we wrap this up, because we want to give everybody time to go get their popcorn and get their drinks, talk a little bit about, two things I want to talk to you guys about. you guys have been married for almost 20 years, right?
Yes.
And one of the things I did realize in directing and producing this show was you guys really, really respect each other. I hate hearing the word love because everybody say, you know, oh, we're in love, yeah, whatever. Respect. I see so much respect between you two guys. You respect what she does, and you let her do what she do. You respect what he does, and you let him do what he does. Talk about a little bit about that. What can people learn, or what have you learned, even a better question, in the last 20 years being married? Because I haven't taken that leap. I'm just I'm too hard-headed.
It's coming.
Sister Pecan is coming.
It's coming. It's coming.
I can't say what I want to say. We're live. So.
Go ahead, babe.
So I think that, I don't know, I always kind of had an image of what I wanted marriage to be like, and God fulfilled it in my second marriage, because my first marriage, that was not it. But I would say, I always kind of like thought, like, when I think like power couple, I think about two individuals that are amazingly brilliant and amazingly gifted.
Right.
And one is not trying to control the other. And so I never wanted to have that marriage, because I've seen a lot of marriages like this where it's like this check-in spirit, like, I gotta see if it's okay with her if I can fly. Like, what do you mean? He wants to fly. He doesn't need my permission to fly.
Right.
He doesn't need my permission to be a pilot. He doesn't need my permission to have his own planes. I'm not his mama.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Say that again for all
his
the
mama. Like, he don't need my permission.
all the women in the back.
Yeah, not like, he can go and be great.
Right.
And I'm gonna get on with it, you know, and vice versa. Like, I shouldn't need his permission. I'm gonna ask him, can I learn this language? Well, let me see what my husband says. I think like that whole, let me see what my husband says, let me see what my wife says, like, I think it's overrated.
Right.
And I think it has ended up stifling and killing a lot of people's
Because you're still
natural instinct.
individuals.
You're still individuals.
Still individuals, right.
To me, it's what makes it exciting.
Right.
Like, if he gets to a point where he feels like he can't move or make a decision without me, like, God gave him his own brain, his own instincts. And so I think we respect that. That's what keeps it exciting. That's what keeps it from getting boring, because he's his own person, I'm my own person, and we respect it and we love it.
Right.
And we grew. We haven't always been very wealthy. When we got married, we were struggling, you know. So there was a day when there was a, you know, don't make $1,000 move without calling me.
Right.
Then I graduated to $10,000, then $100,000 to whatever, you know. So now I can come home and say, hey, babe, I got a jet. You know, oh, where is it? Oh, wow.
Right.
Before I used to have to ask permission for, you know, she used to give me $40 allowance
Right.
each week.
Wow.
But I think even then,
we grew.
it is true. Mm-hmm. That's true. We definitely had to grow. Ben was in a lot of debt, and his focus, his strength is producing, and my strength is managing and investing. That is true. But I think even in that, it wasn't this domineering.
Right.
No.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was like, babe, you know, we don't need to do that because we got to pay the water bill. You know what I mean?
Right.
It wasn't like, no, you can't do that. I don't want, you know?
Right.
So I think it's like the spirit behind it.
And then, you know, I believe that, you know, we should have a friendship, not just a marriage contract, you know. So I'm her biggest fan.
Right.
And she's my biggest fan. I want a comrade. I don't want to, you know, I don't want somebody out to compete with, you know. And I don't mind, and you can agree with this as a man. We don't mind going out into the world and getting beat up, you know. We fight for our family.
Right.
We just don't want to come back, if you're in the ring of life, we don't want to come back to the corner and get finished off.
Right. Right.
I should have, you know, a towel over here.
Right.
You know, some lemonade, some refreshment, you know, not where you been.
Right.
You was 2 minutes late.
Right.
You know?
2 minutes late.
But people do that when they're not whole.
Yeah.
Right.
When people are not whole, and not that doesn't mean you being whole mean you perfect, but I'm not insecure about his gifts. Mm-hmm. I'm grateful for his gifts because I end up profiting. I'm a benefactor of everything great that he is, and vice versa.
And she's the product of my awesome decision.
There you go. Spoken like a true gentleman. Still got to take the credit. No, it's kidding. Before we take off, so here's the thing. I thought that this would be the end. I'd be like, okay, so we did it. All right, season 4. God bless you. Good night. Right. I just thought that's what he was going to say. Next thing you know, we started talking, and it was his idea. And now we're getting ready to do another project together. We're still in the development stages, but the project is a movie. Movie.
The Bessie Coleman story.
Bessie Coleman?
Now, who is Bessie Coleman? Google it.
So excited
Get
about
ready.
this. So excited. Wait, it was the first female African-American pilot.
Right.
I'm so excited. I got to be a part. I mean, I know maybe not Bessie, but I need to be in it. I got to be in it, baby.
And
Okay.
if I'm going to stay in this marriage, I'm going to find her something to do. in
It's
this
funny.
movie.
So it's funny. He says the other day we were talking about it, and he goes, she says what she just said. This is live, so I hope I can get permission to say this. But she goes, well, Carl makes that decision. And I'm like, you ain't going to get me in the middle of your marriage. Try to put it on me. You know, it's like, I might be producing and directing, but I'm not finna go up against her. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
The 2 words that have helped me to survive almost 21 years is yes, dear.
Yes, dear.
babe.
Yes, dear. Let's do it.
We definitely got to give her. We got to find a part for her.
Yeah, something.
It may not be the lead, but hey.
Well, Ben could be playing the piano because you're gonna be in the movie too. Playing the piano in a club.
I'll probably be an airplane mechanic.
Yes, yeah. There you
Oh,
go.
oh, okay.
There you
So
go.
then maybe I can be the stewardess.
Ooh, see, this the kind of stuff they did on set. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. All this sexual
You could be-
innuendo.
Maybe he could be the airplane mechanic's wife that brought him some lemonade while he was fixing
You
Bessie's
see what I'm saying?
airplane.
That's what they do all the time.
I can do all of that.
But you got to dress in 40s gear. You can't be like this.
I can do
And I
that.
know you want to be here. Have this
No,
up.
no, baby, I can do 40s. I can do 40s. I got you. I even do I'll even do pin curls like they did in the 40s.
You gotta have a do-rag and some
Do-rag.
brogans.
Guys, this is a live show. You can't bring your bedroom over here on the live show. Kids are watching.
Do rag.
Jeez, what's going on,
Y'all ain't
guys?
seen nothing. You wait for next half an hour when the show come on. Woo.
Oh, it gets interesting. Thank you guys for doing this special
Thank
edition of the
you.
podcast.